walk you through a few tips to help you perfect your 1/4" seam. Now, most of you will probably purchase the 1/4" foot with guide, and you just use that with a regular straight stitch. Set your sewing advisor to fabric B, woven medium, to get that nice 2.5mm stitch length center position. That's going to be pretty much the easiest thing to do. Now, notice here, there's just a single hole in here, but a little bit of a trick. I always say if you want a scant 1/4", touch your needle position arrow to the right one time. That's going to get you a 0.3 change. So hello, just a hair's breadth to the right. It will still clear this foot, but give you a little bit more room to actually press that fabric open. And remember, that's where you lose it. After you've sewed your seam, you got to press it open. Also to a finer thread, like an aurifil thread. Love that thread for piecing because it lays so flat it doesn't fill up that seam. If you have a traditionally sized thread, even this one here is kind of, well, it's normal, but it's a little bulky when you start to have seam after seam after seam. Now, a 1/4" seam is truly required once you add a triangle into the mix. If you're just working with strips and squares and rectangles, as long as you are accurate all the way from start to finish, it really doesn't matter so much your 1/4". But that triangle, those triangles, make it all really important to work on that, perfecting the final 1/4" stitch or seam allowance. But I have another option for you, not just this one. So back to the center needle position. One thing else that you could try is that you can set your machine for with a straight stitch throat plate. Now, you don't usually get to wiggle that needle too much there, but this is going to allow for that needle to only have one place to travel down. It really will help when you go over a lot of seam allowances where they're all very, very thick. That needle is going to make a straight stitch. This is great also for free motion quilting. I know not related to 1/4", but it's great to have. This is purchased separately from your Husqvarna Viking dealer, and you'd want to go into the tools and set up stitch width safety so you don't accidentally pick a zigzag and break your needle as it's trying to go back and forth. So that's another way. Now, separate from this and the foot is a whole nother foot I want to talk about. This one's actually my favorite one to use. When I've been sewing, this has worked the best for me, but again, everybody will find what works best for them. If you go to the start menu, and we'll pick our stitch menus here, menu D, and the way I remember this is it has a straight stitch with a little 1/4" notation there. And the very first stitch in this grouping is a 1/4". That is meant to be a needle position moved over to the right to 2.3 and used technically with foot A. So you don't even have to change foot or feet, but it doesn't have a guide on it. Here is the foot I like. It is called a 1/4" edge stitching foot. So it is our A foot with a guide on the outside, but then this red line is lined up where the needle has moved to. And again, if I wanted to do a little bit of a scant version, I can bump that needle position if I need to, just a little bit more to the right at 2.5. So somewhere between 2.3 and 2.5. Believe me, that can make a difference in getting those triangle points not to be lopped off when you're done. When your blocks are to measure 12.5 inches when you're done, this foot will be a solution for you, along with that scant 1/4". So depending on how you cut, how you sew, everybody sews just a little bit differently, but these tools will all help you get that accurate 1/4" you're searching for, whether it's the 1/4" foot with guide and a straight stitch throat plate, or a foot that matches up with this particular stitch in D and stitch number 1. That will really make it look perfect when you're done.